A shining legacy doesn't always mean a bright future.
That's as far as you go, Star Fox.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 video game franchises whose futures we're concerned about. While some series stay consistently fresh, innovative, and ultimately great, weird business decisions, stale gameplay, or rehashed stories can stain any great history. While we want these franchises to do well, some questionable decisions have us hesitant for the future. So, everyone take a seat, because it's time for an intervention. Number 10, Resident Evil. While the first couple of entries stand up as some of the finest examples of survival horror gameplay, with their limited resources, eerie atmospheres, and shocking cutscenes, the latest installments of the series have just plain fallen flat. 5's Africa setting tried to change up the formula by focusing on the action, and while we appreciate the attempt, the combat was slow, plodding, and just too ridiculous to be scary. RE6 looked promising, but ended up being just a mashup of too many different styles and fell short of being a true return to form. Fear is all about immersion, and there's something about all these new hulking characters that just makes them kinda hard to relate to.
Split into 3 teams. Move out! You got it, sir.
Yes, sir.
Number 9, The Elder Scrolls.
Must have been the runt of the litter.
Bethesda's recent release, Fallout 4, may have been critically praised, but with it releasing to just lukewarm reception from many fans, and with the undeniable bust that was Elder Scrolls Online, Bethesda is now starting to show a few kinks in its Daedric armor. The Elder Scrolls is a great series that fans adore, but we're not alone in worrying whether the flaws that plague the series are ever going to be fixed. Poor animations and uninspired quest lines seem to be symptomatic of Bethesda's games, and that's just not good enough in a series with such long development cycles.
I don't really want to touch that thing, though.
It's undeniably one of the best series of all time, but at this point, it's fair that some people just expect a bit more.
Let's see what you got.
Number 8, Animal Crossing. Oh man, this one hurts. Nintendo's relaxing community sim has drawn in millions of fans with its subtle charm, quirky humor, and laid-back gameplay. New Leaf was an addictive, major success, but more and more it seems like the Japanese giant just has no idea how to progress with this beloved franchise. Already a pretty shallow concept, Happy Home Designer was stretched way too thin, while Amiibo Festival was a shameless cash grab that really tested the loyalty of the hardcore fanbase. The freemium title that's currently on the way doesn't alleviate any fears either. Animal Crossing is a series that's designed to be played for months, if not years on end, so the thought of being nickeled and dimed to keep your town alive is definitely concerning. Number 7, Far Cry. A rare franchise with environments that you can truly get lost in, yet repetitive installments are starting to milk the cash cow pretty dry.
Insanity is doing the exact same thing over and over again.
With each passing game, the same old Ubisoft formula is present and it's beginning to get stale. We've been attacked by so many wild animals and cleared so many strongholds that it just doesn't pack the same punch as it used to. And, aside from the hilarious Blood Dragon DLC, the environments aren't capturing us anymore.
I think you got the point.
Primal was a step back in the right direction to try and freshen things up, but unless the core gameplay takes a few steps forward, it might not be enough to reinvigorate the series. Number 6, Devil May Cry. Ask anyone for a list of badass video game characters, and Dante is sure to make the cut. The white-haired, smooth-talking mercenary has been a timeless mainstay in every entry of the series, and when his character received a redesign in Ninja Theory's reboot, fans weren't really happy.
Not in a million years.
While perhaps not the biggest flaw in a game that featured a weak story, laughably easy combat, and unsatisfying bosses, it did definitely draw the biggest frustration and is what most people will remember looking back.
Who are you? What do you want?
You were careless.
Ninja Theory has a lot to make up for, but with a planned sequel already having been cancelled, they might not even get a chance.
Time for rebellion.
Number 5. Metroid.
But then the team came face to face with a well-known threat they weren't expecting.
A pillar of gaming since the 1980s, the world's favorite bounty hunter has fallen on tough times as of late. Other M tried to push the series in a new cinematic direction, but it was undermined by its weak story and completely flawed presentation of Samus, who isn't even the focus of the upcoming Federation Force, and I think the fan reception to that trailer speaks for itself. With Retro Studios' great Prime series setting the bar for any future releases, it seems unlikely that anything short of Metroid Prime 4, which definitely isn't on the immediate horizon, can ever meet those lofty standards. Number 4. Star Fox. Few things in gaming feel as tight as the controls of the R-Wing as you fly through the Lilat system taking on Andross's forces. Good, responsive controls are important in pretty much any game, but are even more crucial in avoiding getting shot in these high-octane space battles. The formula definitely turned for the worse with Assault's mixed bag of ground-based missions, and while Zero promised to be a return to form, its confusing and tough to master control scheme alienated both fans and the critics. Why Nintendo insisted on pushing such a polarizing control scheme on such a beloved series that had been dormant for a decade is kinda mind-boggling, as the mixed reception led to the game selling very poorly and leaving many fans wondering if they'd ever visit the Lilat system ever again.
Status report, everyone. Still in one piece.
Number 3. Halo. The Master Chief Collection was a great way to bring the series into the next generation of consoles, but it was hampered by the awful connectivity issues that left players unable to get into multiplayer matches consistently for months. .343 then followed up those frustrations by straight up cutting split-screen multiplayer from Halo 5 altogether. Part of what made Halo a household name originally was its variety of modes and easy-to-follow campaign that attracted both casual and hardcore fans to both the single and multiplayer.
I've called for an evac.
Roger that.
By removing split screen and having a story that's reliant on its expanded universe lore, 343 is slowly beginning to alienate a large portion of casual fans that made the series as big as it was to begin with. Number 2. Metal Gear Solid.
Now go! Let the legend come back to life.
With the Phantom Pain bringing the series into the next gen with new open-world elements, it's hard to imagine a way for future installments to keep pushing the franchise forward. A difficult task for anyone. It would be even more difficult with the visionary behind the series, Hideo Kojima, leaving to pursue other projects. Could a new director take the series in a bold direction? Sure, but the expectations will be massive, and given Konami's recent track record with some of their other franchises, most notably Castlevania and whatever they turned Silent Hill into, we're not holding our breath. Especially after this. Number 1. Half-Life.
Are you still doing episode 3? Because I think when people
Yes,
look
of course
at now
we're
the
doing
history of
episode
it, it's
3.
like,
Hey, speaking of expectations, could anything Gaben creates live up to Half-Life 2 after fans have spent more than a decade waiting for a follow-up?
Wake up and smell the ashes.
First-person shooters have evolved and seemingly left Valve's masterpiece stuck in a different era. With every year that passes, more and more features are going to be expected, and unless Half-Life 3 is a visual masterpiece that can match the atmosphere of its predecessors, while still providing the multiplayer experiences people have come to expect from their shooters in this day and age, it's likely to be a colossal disappointment.
Good idea. She could well make another attempt.
Do we still want it to come? Of course. Are we concerned? Definitely. Hey man, we still remember what happened to Duke Nukem.
What do you think, Duke? Want to add something to the whiteboard?
Now what? Shit finger painting?
Do you agree with our list?
Time to stop pissing around and get this big guy back into action.
Which of your beloved franchises are you worried about?
That's a rough diamond.
For more fun top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Out of nowhere, I suddenly found myself concerned with his opinion again.